Hey, what is up, podcast listeners? It's the Brent Mukai podcast, episode 9. You know me already. Brent Mukai, voice actor, improv trainer, entertainer. I, uh, what do I want to talk about this week? I don't know. A lot of good stuff, a lot of cool stuff happened this week. I got some jobs. I got a couple of jobs. One of them that turned into like several jobs, which is pretty cool for a marijuana company up in Canada. They had like one video that they were like casting for, and they heard my voice. I did a lot of I did my thing. I don't want to brag, but I did my thing. I did my regular, it was written like poetry. It was written like poetry, and I saw like an opportunity to kind of play around with it and do a little more than people might think with it. So I just kind of I read it and kind of zigged and zagged, and I treated it almost like slam poetry, and they liked it, and they liked it so much. Um, they said, we have a few more videos, and we think you have the range for it, so we're gonna send those your way. So more money, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it worked out. I also got a job doing a voiceover. That is voice acting, voiceover stuff. The other thing is I booked a gig for God, I'm gonna fuck it up. What is it? It's like a, it's like for climate change in Polynesia. So if you're listening from any of the Polynesian islands, you'll be hearing my voice talking about climate change. Um, which, I mean, I guess that'll be pretty cool, right? I mean, I'm probably never gonna hear it, but it's like a video about how you have to be prepared for disasters and shit like that. So it's cool. It's weird. It's weird, like the work that gets listed and gets that I get sent auditions for, and it stuff that I would have never thought of. But everybody needs voices, so that's pretty cool. Um, for me, this has been a highly productive week. It's just been a very, very productive week. I've just started doing a thing where I bought a whiteboard. I posted up right above where my workspace is. And I basically, before I go to bed every night, I write down a list of things that I need to accomplish the next day. And if you are thinking of doing this, here's a tip that a friend gave me that I adopted, that thought was brilliant. He said the one thing with a list of things you have to do the next day is you have to put more than you can do in a day, because you never want to run out of shit to do on the list, because then it ends the productivity. So I was like, wow. So I at all times basically have like 20 different things on my list. So yeah, I'm starting to do more with the social media stuff, which I knew I needed to get on. I'm kicking more ass, and honestly, I have to say thank you to a lot of you who reached out to me after last week's episode. A few people reached out to me about like some financial stuff, which was pretty cool. So thank you for that. I really super deeply appreciate that. Here's an idea I just had. I'm talking about social media. Why don't I do an Instagram story of the podcast while I'm doing the podcast? Is that too meta? Is that too meta? Which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. I'm putting out some content. I'm putting out more content than before. Hey, what's up, Instagram? I am doing a podcast right now. How meta is this right now? You can go listen to the podcast. It's called the Brent Mukai podcast and listen to me recording this Instagram. Love you. Oh boy. I am doing a podcast. Yeah, okay. So this is kind of my whole jam, you know? Like I am trying to be better at all of the shit I know I need to do. On top of, I I am I am I know that now that I'm my own boss, I need to work harder than I ever have before. So what I've been doing is every audition that I'm being sent, I am doing, and then on top of the ones that I'm being sent, I'm going to special sites where you pay a subscription and they list auditions, and I'm knocking all of them out. So on average, these past 2 weeks actually, I've been kicking ass pretty hard. I've probably done about 25 to 30 auditions a day, which is insane. Like an average of 30 auditions a day is pretty fucking insane. But I've been just seeking all of them out and doing it, and I'm already seeing dividends being paid off. So I'm back on my shit. You know, I had a few rough weeks. More than a few rough weeks. I had I just had some mental shit going on, just, blasting around in my brain, and I needed to get back on my shit. And now I feel like I'm back on it. And it's just a constant, for me, it's always, I don't know if anyone, I'm sure a lot of people understand this, but for me, I feel like I'm on my shit, and it's tough for me to maintain it sometimes, and I'll dip. And then it's always these ups and downs of just me being like, I wish I could just be completely just on the level, right? Like, how do I do that? How is the like, I always come back. I never give up, because I never fucking give up. I never give up on the shit, but it's I don't know. I wish I could be consistent, stay consistent. I mean, I say that I have ADD and all that stuff, and that's true, I do, but everybody has ups and downs. Like, how do I do it? Like, I don't want to make excuses anymore. I just want to keep on with this. Maybe I just got to take it one day at a time and not pre-think about where I'm going to be in a month. I just got to take it a day at a fucking time and just go. So yeah, in doing the social media stuff too, I'm realizing more and more that I fall into the category of, I will want to make something really good, and I'll be worried about what people have to say or what people might think. And so it'll cripple me sometimes. It'll stop me. It'll paralyze me from fucking doing the shit that I know I just need to fucking do. So that's kind of where this is coming from too. I'm just trying to shed all of the bullshit. I'm just trying to shed all of the bullshit right now. I realize how much bullshitting I do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm trying to fucking stop it. I'm seeking out help from my voice acting friends, because I have a wonderful community of people who are doing it like fucking full time, which is amazing, right? I'm doing that. And I realize I'll talk to them and I'll ask them for advice and I'll write some shit down and I won't do it. So now this week, I've started hitting up a few of my friends and I've said, what should I do? Not what should I do? That's like going on a dating website and being like, hey, what's up is your opening line. What should I do? Not a good opening line. I've been asking them very specific questions and I've said, let's sit down. I want to pick your brain on this, that. And it's been cool. Like, I've been getting feedback back. And now, I don't just write it down. I do it fucking immediately. I'm on it, that shit. I'm just on it. So, I'm done. I'm done fucking around. I'm done bullshitting. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be, right? I've been going to CrossFit this week. It's been hell. And the one day that I couldn't make CrossFit because I was too busy knocking out auditions and doing all my shit, I went and did like a half-hour run. I mean, when I say that I'm just done. I'm just done with the fuckery. You know, there's so much in me that just wants to sit down and watch some fucking, just watch Netflix for forever. And there's just so much of that. And I'm not dogging anybody who wants to do that. I'm just saying that I have humongous fucking dreams. I have humongous fucking dreams. Like, the things that I want to do are things that maybe 1%, less than 1% of the world can fucking do. So I need to get my shit together. Like, if I'm going to do it, I can't fuck around anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. And while I'm saying that, let me also address something. I'm saying this, and I'm still having trouble waking up in the mornings, which I fucking hate. I hate myself for that. I'm trying to be generous to myself. So, like, I'm saying I hate myself, but really, I understand. But, like, God, man, like, I just want to wake up at, like, 6 a.m. Like, my goal is 5 a.m. I've been trying to wake up at 6 a.m. for the past week, and I've hit that twice out of, like, 6 days. And now it's just, like, today I woke up at 10, and I'm so fucking disgusted with myself. Like, I can't, like, I wake up and I do the snooze thing, and I just hate it. I hate it. I need a better alternative. But you know what? I will say this. In me doing this, it's not just me saying, I hate myself, shit, woe is me. What I am doing is I'm realizing what works for me. So what worked the 2 days is I got myself an alarm clock, an actual alarm clock. I set that, and I didn't let myself fucking go back to sleep, which seems elementary, right? But I realize too, when I'm working out, when I'm doing the workouts, my body is sore. And because of that, it makes me want to stay in bed longer, because my body does not physically want to get out of fucking bed. So it starts with that. This morning I only set the phone alarm because I laid in bed and I said, oh shit, I didn't set the alarm, which, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see right behind me there, boom, I have that. For those of you who don't know, I'm posting all of the videos of these on YouTube, so if you want to see what my face looks like, I guess, enjoy the beautiful, luscious face that this young man has, then you can go ahead on YouTube, look up Brent Mukai Podcast, or the channel's called The Brent Mukai Show. So yeah, I'm just all on top social media, baby. You hear that shit? I'm plugging all over the place. Hit me up on Twitter, Brent Mukai, BrentMukai. Anyway, enough of that fucking bullshit. But if you're not following me on Twitter, like, dude, what's wrong with you? Hit me up. Let's do it. I don't know. Just talk to me. I like talking to people. I already had, I'm sorry. I'm waking up late is really starting to bother me, because I know that I need to stop that. I know that, and some people will say, like, oh, well, you need to, blah, blah, blah. No, I need to be better. I need to be, if I want the shit that I want, I need to be better than fucking, I can't not do this if I'm saying that I want to dream of being like constantly busy, hitting animation studios and doing that shit. Like, I can't fuck around if that's what I want. If my dreams are that big, I need to be that good. So waking up late is a problem. I also realize, like, it's tough because, like, now that I'm my own boss, like, I know I'm not gonna fire me. Like, I'm like, I'm too good of a boss. Like, I'm too nice of a fucking boss that I will like, if I wake up late and try to go to work at MGM, I'm gonna get a point. I don't have a points system with myself. Like, so when I'm dragging myself out of bed, well, that's the point. I'm not dragging myself out of bed like I would for a regular job, and I need to drag myself out of bed, and I need to find that same thing, and this is part of the transitioning from going from, a job to self-employed, but that's it. I know what I need to do. I just need to fucking do it. Like, I think that anybody knows what they need to do. I think deep down an alcoholic, right, knows that they need to stop drinking, but it's just about doing it. The doing part is the hardest fucking part. And God, man, like, I'm struggling with it. I'm not, like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be yet. Like, I'm happy with what I'm doing and where I am. Like, after this, I'm going to knock out, like, 45, like, my phone's blowing up. Like, I'm upset that I didn't do this podcast last night because I was tired, and I said, okay, well, I'll go to bed at midnight and hopefully then wake up at 6. And I had run out of time because I was auditioning up until like 11:30. I was auditioning, and then I went to take a shower, bath, whatever. I don't know. If you have suggestions on waking up in a morning routine, I'm all ears. I'm all fucking ears. I want to hear it. Please let me know, because I need to know it. So transitioning into the next thing that I want to talk about here. I went on a date last week. I slipped it in last week that I was going on a date. I was going to CrossFit, then going on a date. It did not go that well. I don't know. I ran into the inherent problem that I knew I was going to, like, there was going to be comparisons between this girl and the last girl that I dated. And I started drawing comparisons even before we met up, because I was like, this girl, like, she doesn't text me really. Like, I text her and we have good conversations, but, like, it seems like she just doesn't give a shit about, like, texting me first, like, being the first one to text, like, which I kind of have a problem with. Look, like, relationship stuff, like, talking to people, it's a two-way street. It's like the equivalent, that to me is the equivalent of if I am at a party and I'm talking to somebody and I have to be the one to generate the entire conversation. Like, if I have to be the one to keep the conversation going, and it's like they're brick walling me, right? It's like I'm playing tennis. I always make this analogy. It's like I'm playing tennis with myself. Like, I'm not playing tennis against somebody who's then going to serve the ball to me, and then we can enjoy playing tennis. It's like I'm fucking hitting my ball against a wall that will keep on stonewalling me, so I have to generate every single part of it. And then, when I'm done, I just leave, and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? I could have gone and done anything else other than hitting a dumb ball against a wall. That's my gripe. That's my gripe. I think that it's a legitimate gripe. Like, I didn't text, like, there was twice in a few, we talked for a couple weeks before we kind of met up, and I don't know, there were moments that I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, she's real. Like, she was a real girl. She was nice. She was, she was odd, and knew she was odd, and I kind of dig that. Like, I'm odd. I know that I'm odd. Yeah, it was funny. She worked at a porn rental place, which I had a lot of questions about. She rented out DVDs, physical DVDs of porn. It wasn't like her own business. Like, she worked for this huge, like, what I'm assuming is a multi-million-dollar business. My biggest questions were like, who the fuck still rents physical porn? Like, who buys physical porn? Like, it was a whole rental and buy it and all that stuff. She equated it to Netflix before streaming. Like, if you're still doing the mail in a DVD Netflix type stuff, that's part of her job. So I just had a ton of questions about that, because I was like, how do you not get desensitized to sexuality when you're watching that? She wasn't watching it all day. That wasn't her job to watch. She wasn't like putting out Yelp reviews on these DVDs. Why would it be Yelp also? Why would you be on Yelp putting out reviews of a DVD? You can't find a DVD on Yelp. That's fucking stupid. I should have said Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes. She was on Rotten Tomatoes. It's always good. Yeah, we're punching up the jokes. I'm a one-man writer's room right now. God, but yeah, I mean, it was fascinating talking to her. She lived she lived a rough life, but came out of it. Like it was one of those whole deals, and I was like, cool. That's admirable. She's confident. She seems confident. It was all of these things. But I didn't. It just didn't click. It didn't feel like it clicked. And then at the end of the night ended kind of odd in that we were sitting outside of this I'm gonna just say we went to Wingstop because we wanted wings. Yeah, I'm a fancy first date kind of guy. Wingstop, baby, all the way. Fucking only the best. If you're dating me, only the fucking best. But I took her there. We went. We did the thing. We were sitting outside because the Wingstop had closed. I mean, we talked for like 5 hours, 6 hours, which I guess is kind of a cool thing. Like, it's pretty insane, like. But I think, I can talk with anyone like that, really. But I had a lot of questions and, and again, it was mostly me generating the conversation. It felt like I kept putting the conversation out, and which I'm not, I can do, but I'm not a huge fan of. And if I'm scouting a potential mate, is there any other way I could have said that to make it sound less appealing to find a relationship? Scouting a potential mate. I'm fucking, I'm like a nature documentary person. Look at them in the wild, scouting a potential mate. It's fucking dumb. It's I hate that type of stuff. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like the whole night, but it was. I definitely felt it leaning that way, and so I don't know. I was already kind of like, is this gonna find its way to a second date? And end of the night, these two guys are walking past. They've walked past a couple times. They're just like two. I don't know. They look like two stonery dudes. They just look like two stoner guys that are just like, chill. They look like they have crystals somewhere and like, you know what I mean? Like they look like they have crystals on them somewhere. Like not crystal, I'm talking about like, energy crystals and Buddha type stuff. And they walk up and one of them says, "Hey, I just want to let you guys know that like I'm walking past here and I feel good energy and it makes me happy. It makes me really happy to we've walked past a couple times." And I'm about to say, "Oh, cool, thanks, man." And she kind of takes the lead and gets very aggressive and says, "Okay, cool. Can you like leave?" So yeah, she just gets very, very like 0 to fucking 100. And I'm sitting there like, okay, that's a kind of odd reaction to somebody just saying something, but now these two guys are like, it just does not get much better after that. I mean, because these two guys are like, whoa, 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 like I was just trying to say, like, we're on mushrooms right now, like I just felt this. I'm like, what? And she kind of drilled into them, and then one of them was like, "Wow, you're actually kind of negative, huh?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I'm actually a huge bitch," and like it just escalated from there, as it might when somebody makes a confrontational move to another person. I mean, I'm very not confrontational, and I mean, I'm sitting there just kind of watching, unsure of how to I mean, honestly, I'm unsure of what to say Am I supposed to be like, hey, bro, step off my fucking girl? You know, like, am I supposed to say that? Am I supposed to... Am I supposed to be like, don't call her negative? You know, what am I do? What do I do here? Because and then this is the first date, so I'm talking with her, and am I supposed to be like, whoa, 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 everybody, let's calm down, because then she might get mad at me for, I don't know. I was unsure of what to do. It's the first date. I mean, there's like a million things I could have done, but I didn't. It just happened very fucking fast. And then these guys are talking shit, and she's like, yeah, we'll just get out of here. And then they're like, well, maybe we don't want to get out of here now. Maybe we want to hang around. And she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to go. So good night. And she fucking takes her purse and grabs her things and just bolts. Like bolts. And I try to follow her and I'm like, hey. And she just bolts. And I'm like, all right, well, bye. And I get in my car and I don't know what to fucking do. Like, I'm not good with confrontation. I'm willing to admit that. Like, I'm not... Fuck, I grew up in Hawaii. It's not a very confrontational place a lot of the times. Like, I can deal really well with passive aggression. Like, because that's a lot of what... Like, Hawaii isn't super aggressive. Some areas are. Obviously, every place has areas like that. But I didn't go to those places. I'm not a fucking, you know... And I'm not about that. I'm not about, like, confrontation and all this shit. Like, I'm kind of like, can we talk this out and be humans? Like, I don't know. Here's the kicker. Here's the weird, crazy kicker. Is that I drive home, and I'm the whole way home, I'm thinking, was I supposed to step up there? And I'm feeling like I fucked up. Because I'm like, I really should have fucking stepped in. I really should have gotten aggressive. Like, I'm too much of a fucking, you know, I'm too much of a fucking, whatever the word, sissy. I was going to say pussy, but you can't say that anymore. like, at least I know that. Like, I sat there and I was trying to absorb a situation because I was not sure how to react. And then each progressive interaction only made me more confused. So I was like, fuck, I really let her down. I really should have said something. I really should have been like, hey guys, like, should I have taken her side? Should I have spoken up faster and said, thanks guys, appreciate it. Why don't you move on? Right? Like, because there's a way to handle shit. Because if you just go and be aggressive to somebody, chances are they're probably going to get aggressive back with you. Right? Is that not fucking the way that life works? Like, if I get aggressive with anybody, I can assume reasonably that they might get aggressive back at me. Like, so I disagreed with the whole thing. Like, I didn't, because, like, from 0 to 100 like that, like, dude, from a guy who wasn't even, like, if he had said something like, wow, nice tits, you know, if he had said something like that, then that would have been a very different fucking scenario. Like, I have no problem I have a little bit of a problem, but I don't, like, if somebody says something like that, I'll be like, hey, dude, shut the fuck up and leave. Like, I won't, like, if they're starting out with something disrespectful or shitty or aggressive, like, I can deal with that. Like, I get that. But somebody's coming and just saying, you two are having a good time, it's a good vibe, and, you know, she might not have interpreted it that way. I talked with somebody else and they said maybe she thought it was like a threatening type of thing. But I was like, these guys are stoner type. Like, they just look like two dudes who ate a whole bunch of fucking food and were like going home for the night. Like, it just, I don't know. I get it. But here's the kicker. Sorry. I keep getting, I listen back to these podcasts, not to like be like, oh, I really kicked it out of the fucking park. But I listen back to these to fucking see where I can improve. And I've noticed I tangent a lot, and sometimes I don't go back to the point. So let me get back to the point here, which is she texted me before I could text her. And she said, sorry, I felt awkward and I didn't know what to do. And in awkward situations, in tense situations where I feel tense, I do bad things. And I did a bad thing and I'm sorry. Which to me meant a lot. That meant a shit ton to me because she at least had the self-awareness to be like, I shouldn't have done that. That was the incorrect way. There was a correct way to deal with it. I dealt with it incorrectly, and I felt anxious. And I get that. Like, I can vibe with that 1000%. If somebody feels anxious, like, they're not themselves, and I get that. I know what that's like. I sometimes get that. I sometimes get into this anxious mode, and I don't lash out. That's not my tendency, but I will tend to recede in if I'm feeling very anxious. And it's you know, I've dealt with my own shit. Like, when I was a kid, I had high anxiety. It was part of the ADHD stuff. As a kid, I got clinically diagnosed with anxiety and depression and ADHD by two separate or three, I think maybe it was three separate psychologists that I visited as a kid. I dealt with a lot of mental strife as a child, and so I have nothing but empathy, sympathy. I have nothing but fucking like understanding for people who are going through that type of shit. I get it. Like, if you're going through that right now, I get it, dude. Like, you're not yourself. And so she sent that to me, and she said, sorry if I ruined the night. And I said, you didn't ruin the night. Thanks for sending this text. I felt like I should have done something too. I could have probably helped, and I'm sorry that I didn't. Blah, 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 whatever. We went back and forth, and she was like, you know, I had a thing in the morning anyway, and it was 2 a.m. when we left, so it worked out, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, here's the question. Here's the big $1 million question is, do I want to still deal with that? Do I want to pursue this further? Knowing that this happened? Because this was Friday, so I had a few days to think it over. And I mean, knowing that full well that could be an issue in the future, did I want to deal with that? And some people that I talked to said, if I don't want to deal with it, I shouldn't contact her again, or, you know, like, leave it as it is, or, you know, break it off or whatever. I mean, break it off. It's at one date. But, like, in my head, I thought, I haven't dated a lot. Like, I haven't dated a lot. I don't know. I don't know what I can and can't put up with. Maybe this is something that I'm supposed to have at this time, right? So that I can learn how to deal with this. And this is a different type of person from a lot of the people that are in my life. Maybe that's valuable in some way, you know? So I said, here's what I'll do. I'm going to send a text. So 2 days. So Sunday. So Saturday, didn't text. She didn't text me. Sunday, I said, okay, I'm going to text her. I'm going to see where the conversation goes. I'm going to feel it out. We have just a regular conversation. You know, I text, hey, how's it going? What you up to? How's your Sunday going? We have like a nice little chat. And then I say, now I'm not going to text. And I'm going to see if this girl feels strongly enough about how we did, right? I'm going to put the ball in her court, and I am going to wait to see if she texts me. Because that to me is a bigger issue, which is like, I don't want to be the one putting forth all of the effort in this, in us communicating and us talking. Like, we like obviously talking in person, that's cool, but I don't want to fucking have to deal with all of the texting situation. Like, I don't know. And I didn't hear back from her. I since went back on the app, OkCupid, to see. And she had deleted me off. So she deleted our conversation. So I take it as it is. It is what it is. I was ready to maybe see I was ready for a second date. Because some people were like, you're really going to give her. I'm like, I'm not giving her any. I'd be willing to give a second date and see how that goes. And some of you might say maybe subconsciously, maybe not some of you, maybe I subconsciously, right, this is the part where I'm trying to figure my own shit out. Maybe subconsciously I knew she wouldn't text me back because she hadn't. And that's what I ultimately wanted. But I don't, like, sure, that could be a part of it. But a bigger part to me is this. That I put the ball in her court and said, if I text you already and let you know, because I didn't want to just not text her again and make her feel like, oh shit, I fucked up that date and now he doesn't want to talk to me ever. So I text her again a couple days later just to be like, yo, I'm still cool. We can feel this out still. And then I didn't text her again. And then she just must have taken that as I lost interest. But I mean, if she cared at all about it, then in my head, if she cared at all about it, she would have texted me back. And some people might argue and say people don't always think like that, but if you're not thinking like that, then that's fine. Like, but I think like that, and that's kind of what I want in a relationship, is like a 50-50 split, not just me having the bulk of the texting situation. So it is what it is. And we didn't click super well. Like, we talked a lot, but it didn't feel a lot of clicking. So, I mean, would I go on the date again? Yes, I would. I mean, I learned something. I thought about it. I was like, it's a perspective thing. Maybe it's a perspective shift. Maybe she, as a woman, felt threatened by these two guys, and maybe I should have been more sensitive to that. Like, I mean, I don't know. It just is what it is, and I don't know. It's not that put a bad taste in my mouth or anything. It's just, I don't know if I'm gonna pursue the dating thing for a while now. Like, especially now with all of the productivity that I'm doing, like, I'm realizing, man, I just really need to fucking work. So maybe this will be like a thing where I do it and I'll check it out and see. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling all sorts of ways about it. So we'll figure it out. Last but not least, I have a request. I dropped this for the last few episodes because I was rushing to do them and trying to get them better. But let me do this. A few podcasts ago, I started doing a commercial, like a fake commercial that I make up and improvise. And a friend of mine from Canada, Nerdy Diva Nikki, sent me a request for a Smarties ad. If you have a request for something you'd like to hear me do an improvised commercial for, then I would be more than happy to do it. Smarties in Canada, for those of you who don't know, it's a different type of candy. In America, we have Smarties. That's the little chalky, fruity candy that you only get at Halloween, apparently. I never see it in stores any other time. In Canada, Smarties are actually the Nestle equivalent to M&M's. So it's like a nice shell and then chocolate on the inside. They're a little thinner than M&M's. So the shell part takes a little more precedence, which to me tastes delicious. And I liked them. And my friend Nerdy Diva Nikki was so nice. She sent me some Canadian treats and I got to try them. And I was like, wow, these Smarties are really fucking good. Wish I lived in Canada. Anyways, here is my Smarties ad. Nestle, if you want to partner with me, get some commercials going. I know you're hurting, Nestle. I know you're hurting. Chocolate sales way down as kale sales go way up, Here it is. Here's my Smarties ad. Let's see. I'm already on the website. Smarties. How do you use Smarties? Whether you shake, sort, or make your own creation, every box of Smarties is a moment of colorful fun. Also, did you know that Smarties are 100% sustainably sourced cocoa? What does that mean, you may ask? We don't really know. Something about farming and some other shit. Anyways, listen. Smarties is a chocolate that's not just a chocolate. It's a chocolate that's covered in a shell of delicious sugar. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, isn't that what M&Ms are? Aren't you just a rip-off M&Ms? Well, have I got something to share with you. It's a middle finger right to your face, you smartass. That's right, you're a smartass. Why don't you be a smartass with us and have some Smarties, you Smarties ass? So don't be a dummies, be a Smarties. Smarties from Nestle. Chocolatey, delicious, not M&Ms. Yeah. You want some Smarties now? Are your lips smacking at the idea of Smarties? All right, everybody. That's the end of the podcast. I went long. I thought I didn't have a lot to talk about, and it turned out I had a lot to talk about. So, what do I want to say? Thank you so much for listening. I super appreciate it. Thank you. You have no fucking idea how much it means to me that you're listening to this. If you're not subscribed, then go ahead and subscribe. Let's see. Oh, I just redid my entire website. I just redid my entire fucking website. And here is what I would love for you to do. I would love for you to check out my website, brentmukai.com, BRENTMUKAI. Take a look at it and tell me what you think of it. There was a part at the bottom, you know what, I'm not going to say it. Tell me what you think of it. Review my website. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck you want to. Email me, whatever the fuck you want to. Text me. My phone number's on that site. I have no secrets. I'm an open book. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I'm telling you all this shit on my podcast, let me know what you think, because I'm like going to be rolling this out. I'm going to be seeking out potential clients with this website. Like, I want to know just you, if you were looking through the website, what you fucking think of it. So please let me know if you have 10 seconds of time, and if I have made you laugh ever, made your day a little bit brighter, or made you think a little bit about something, then I would love for you to check out that website. And let me know what you think. Like, drop me a line, let me know what you think, because yeah. And if you like the podcast, let me know what you think. If you don't like the podcast, let me know what you think so I can fix it. Let me know what you thought of Wacky Wednesdays. I'm asking for a lot. This episode, I'm asking for a lot. We're on episode 9, baby. We're right near the 2-digit fucking mark. Yeah. Ultimately, for the podcast stuff, let me know, because I want to make this podcast as good as possible. I want to keep bringing quality content, and yeah. I just want to keep on putting out good shit. So, thank you again. It means the world to me that someone's listening. Love you guys. Goodbye.